So, how are you? And what's happening at That's Enrico lately?
So I'm good. I think that Enrico is doing great. He really embraced what I had in mind before the opening. 3 days a week, intense, very intense, and after a few days of recovery plus consulting. So it's really pictured and really is getting more smoother. Of course, 3 months of the opening, so everything is now getting used to it. But I think the balance between hard work, 3 days, and after that, there is not really three, it's much more than that because behind the scene, accounting, order bookings, and so on. But overall, as a trading hour, 3 days, and after that, have few days that I can focus on, like I say, myself and consultation. I think is fantastic. People really enjoy to be at That's Enrico, and you can feel the joy of people while they're eating and they experience the different style of dough, the really welcoming and warm service that we offer. So I think I'm very happy, to be honest. I really couldn't ask for a better start, and touch food, he keep going like that.
Yeah, and talking about the different doughs that you're doing, that you're offering at That's Enrico, we have some incredible feedbacks for the double baked
Yeah.
uh, pizza dough. Can you tell us a bit more?
Yeah. Double bake, definitely he had a huge impact this year. People that never tried before, they don't know what was about it, and when they try, they're really in shock in a good way. Like you see coming something slightly dark, black, so you really the perception is it's gonna be a navy pizza, but after that, when they eat it, it's extremely light, crunchy, soft, and people is really like yeah, it's like the reaction is fantastic, and of course having feedback from also industry people like chef or people in the food industry that they eat around a little bit of they are into the food, and see them really enjoy and having those, like I say, face expression of love and appreciation is very fulfilling for me.
That's good. And I would like to bring you one step back to what happened in the last 2, 3 years that you've been here with your business. And I would like to start from the beginning. Like you arrived here, was a totally new place for you. Like, what was your feelings? And tell me a little bit about till now what happened.
So definitely, it wasn't easy, as people think then Australia is just, like I say, it is one nation, but reality is then New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and WA. They are completely different stories, especially in hospitality. Uh, like the feeling that you have is different. The how people here are different than in other states. So of course you come in and you, like I always do, I really come very humbly, and I do what I always been doing. So consulting, pizza, and on the beginning it was a little bit surprise. Media really look like then my didn't know who I am, what I used to do in Sydney. So it was definitely really a restart for me. And sometimes you feel a little bit down because, of course, you're coming from a state where you were always. I don't want to say spotlight, but you always being recognized by people, by colleagues and everything, and you come in and you really have to restart from zero. So
What did you feel in that moment? Like when you had to start from scratch?
yeah.
Like,
I think part of me, because I always challenge myself, is me. That's Enrico. I never give up, so I really want to push to give the best experience to people. Sometimes, always quite funny because people was eating the pizza and they say, "Oh, this is one of the best pizza I ever eat. Who are you?" And when I say who I am or what I'm doing for a living, the people will say, "Oh, wow, how come you arrive here, in Lobetal or in the middle of Adelaide Hills? Like, what's going on here?" So it's a mix of feeling, like I say, for chef, for people in the industry, reality is that we always need some love. We always need feedback from people. That's probably is the food itself. People then start to be doing food. A chef, pizza chef, pastry chef, is that instant feedback from people that we really need. So when you don't receive, or when you don't feel like the appreciation or neutral, you really start to feeling like, okay, what I'm doing something wrong, I'm not doing the right things, why is that? So always questioning as a human being does. So that was the feeling, a mixed feelings of challenging, happiness, a little bit sadness on the same time, but that's what it is. That's the life.
And what's the feeling now that you have let's say Rico, the place where you do pizza, it's actually you can see people eating. What's the feeling?
That's fantastic for me, and it's the same feeling that I used to have at in Sydney at Altaglio in my restaurant, because I could see through the window, so I can see the faces, and that for me is the biggest joy. Then I can see actually through the people while they're eating, the face that they do. A lot of customers look at me and wave or thumb up. So I think that is one of the reasons why we're doing this job. That's is fantastic, and is, like I say, pay back the hard work that we're doing. As you know how small it is, the place, and be able to bake 80, 90 pizza a day there is a huge challenge. So it's fantastic and rewarding for what we're doing.
And regarding the feedback that you receive from clients and the new pizza dough that you were talking before, can you tell us what is playing in these with the new enzymes you're using? Do you want to shine some light on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are in a new era of pizza. I say the same last year when we do the other podcast, but now we are really in a new era of pizza. How is that? This is more a technical point of view, then I'm sure that many pizza makers will appreciate it. So as we all know by now, most likely, that there is enzyme that help to achieve something. Help the structure of the dough, help the shelf life of the product, help to give you, help you to make a better outcome of what you're doing. And some enzyme are already into flour, so some flour mill basically choose to add this enzyme directly into the flour. Some other companies, they give you the enzyme and you use it by yourself. So I work with this company now I know them for last 10 years, but I'm employed by them. How they help me? They help me a lot with the structure of my work. I have very limited space in my shop. Sometimes I leave outside the double baked dough for 1 or 2 days at room temperature. So I need something that help me to keep the product fresh. Or when I froze the pizza bases, then I'm gonna defrost and use it after. I need something to keep the frozen in a great condition. So the fine line is they are great helper when you need a help. In saying that, there is another phase of this. Making pizza is become quite easy because this enzyme really help to achieve what you need. Okay, so now what's gonna be on the future? The future of the pizza will be then most likely everyone will use some enzyme by adding it themselves or by finding it on the flour. So why is such a surprise on pizza, but it's not a surprise on a bread and pastry? Because enzyme is being used in premix for bread for 20, 30 years. So most of the people doesn't know that all the premix that you buy to do bread, they already have enzyme inside. In pastry as well, to some pastry flour, they already have enzyme. But for pizza, it's something completely new. So few people actually made out of a career out of that, because presenting, especially on social media, every week, every day, a perfect product means in any condition of work, you have exactly the same product. By perception of people then look after social media or looking for social media for the beauty of the picture, it really made an impact. So you can see some pizza maker really baking every day fantastic, crunchy, amazing, good-looking pizza, and that is through enzyme.
What's the downside of this? Is there is this a shortcut, or is this something? Are we talking about natural products?
They are, of course, there are some brand of enzyme than they are in a more in a chemical way, and that's you can see them on the back of the label. You know, A501, E397. So all the enzyme that you see on the back of the label when you buy a product, that's basically our chemical enzyme because they need to be declared. A natural enzyme, they work in a completely natural way, so they call a clean label. Means that you can't avoid to say to the people or to the ingredient label.
Which one you use?
I use, of course, clean natural enzyme from a company, 100% clean label and natural, and that's why we are leader in the world for enzyme. The downside is this: where the skills arrive. Like, you know, before, as you see, pizza maker always try to challenge each other and, you know, take a jokes. And there is a really complex industry, the pizza making industry, as there is an extremely high competition in ego. So now it's really fairly easy to make a good looking pizza. I say good looking pizza because sometimes good looking doesn't mean good to eat. But to make a good looking pizza is extremely easy. So the downside is, are you honest enough to mention that you use enzyme? Means then, yes, you're still making a good product, but we public know that you use an enzyme. So it's not cheating. I don't want to call cheating. It's just the way that you can see. I'm totally pro using it if you need it because they really help. But the point is, if you don't say and you show those products, are you able to do the same without it? And that is the bigger question mark for the future.
As a flour technician,
Yeah.
Can you help someone achieving a special type of pizza with enzymes using? Can they come to you and ask?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, as a freelance flour technician, I really can help them with or without. Definitely those days with the new wave of pizza that we see, like par baked, frozen base, having enzyme inside, like I say, is only a pro because you really need them to be able to stabilize the product, to store the product for a longer period of time in the freezer. So absolutely is something that everyone can benefit of it. Bear in mind, some flour mill add enzyme in their flour simply because there is year where drought, heavy raining, so the grain itself, when we source, is not stable. So you need to give always a flour to the final consumer, so the pizza maker, the baker, then is a performance flour. So some flour mill, they actually, we call retouch the flour anyway. But this new wave is actually to add a package of enzyme to be able to structure your pizza in a different way. And that is a big change between the two things.
Would in some ways these enzymes help pizza makers in being more sustainable?
Definitely you can have less waste. Definitely you can use basically every kind of flour. You know, if you want to use more local flour that doesn't have a structure or performance for baking, you can definitely use any flour as a base, and you can add these enzymes, so they really help to stabilize and to give it the best out of the flour. The biggest saving is in time, is in mistake. So basically you mistake less, so you might be not able to throw away big quantity of dough because mistake happen all the time. And also in like I say, in the final product. So it helps you to structure your work in a better way.
Have you ever thought of writing a pizza book?
Yes, many time. I'm on the process. That's my probably next project. I really want to. I wrote my first pizza book on 2014 in English, so there was not many of that. I was using that book then I wrote myself to give to my student. I want to rewrite a beautiful pizza book with recipes, with a visual impact on baking, history of baking, history of pizza, few good-looking recipe, and to give pizza a good pizza recipe to everyone.
That's quite exciting, Enrico. I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy one.
Oh, you probably gonna help me to produce that. So no, definitely is excited. I think it's time for me, with after 20 years in the industry and the knowledge that I have, to share more and to go more public on having a good book of pizza out there.
So I've been in Italy lately,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of spotlight on pizza,
Yeah.
even on media like traditional medias like TV. But I can't see this here in Australia. Do you know why?
Yeah, look, it's always me kind of my dream to be able to make pizza in the TV, simply because it's a step up for the industry. So I always lead, kind of in a way or another, the pizza industry here in Australia since I arrived, and I really would love to give a little bit more spotlight in the TV. I know there is some little few minutes or Sunshine Coast TV, something very small here and there. My colleagues appear in the TV, then it's fantastic. But I think it's missing a proper format where we have a little bit more space to teach pizza in a good way, or to showcase pizza in a TV. And I think has to be achieved soon. I saw a beautiful food program in SBS when they showcase a lot of chef and a lot of food, but I never see pizza there. And I always wish then we can give us a chance as a pizza industry to go there, explain a little bit about pizza in a more bigger scales, because now pizza is actually everywhere. Very famous pizza restaurant owners now open pizzeria as a second business. A lot of best pizza in Australia is being released for the major media through the year. So I think pizza really miss a step on a TV this year. Then I went to Tasting Australia. I think it was a huge achievement, not only for me but for the pizza industry in general. Give us a spotlight in Tasting Australia. It was really meaningful for me, and yeah, that's what I would like to approach next. Somehow to be able to reach the biggest screen, to give to people a beautiful concept of pizza, talking about pizza more, and I think we deserve it as a pizza industry member.
Yeah, there's the perception in Australia that pizza belongs to a lower league compared to
Food.
food. So why do you think is that?
I think because, first of all, like I say, in pizza there is a lot of confusion. Like, everyone self-claimed themselves the best pizza maker, so there is not really cohesion between pizza maker. There is a lot of style of pizza, and there is no really specific rule of how to judge a good pizza. In the end of the day, it's just a food that is perceived as a low league. But like I say, in 2016 when I opened Al Taglio, had the best chef in Sydney was coming to eat the pizza. We did beautiful chef night collaboration, and now basically they are all over Australia. 10 years later, many colleagues of mine does the same, and I used to do in 2016 and 17 with one of the best chefs around Sydney. Like I say before, many restaurant owner with one or two hats open pizzeria means then the pizza is not anymore a second choice of a restaurant. The topping improve radically. Now there is much more research on topping than before. So I think it's just the perception, and like I say, be able to go on the TV, showcase local products, showcase some cooking skills behind the toppings. It really will help to perceive pizza as a main meal, like a good food is.
Yeah. talking food and toppings, new toppings. What's the new menu coming out? And that's it.
New menu coming out in a couple of weeks. I still want to play, like I say, simple. We have a couple of new pizza idea. Now, of course, it's easy to have inspiration by social media. Then you connect by all the world instantly. But I think I still want to give a plain, simple, well-made, local ingredient based. Okay, so I'm not really focusing on skill on topping, like a very elaborating topping. But there is gonna be one or two new that I never seen around before, and so I think it will be very interesting. There's gonna be a new double bake pizza dough. This time will be 8 cereal, so it's not gonna be a dark malt, so it's something completely new. So the base will be made by 8 cereal included into the dough, and that will be very, very cool.
Pick one pizza and describe it for us.
So I think I'm gonna reveal one of my, like I say, one of my favorite. Then I still have in mind. I haven't tried yet, but it will be mesh and benga. So the typical English plate with the sausage, potato puree, and pea. So mashed potato and pork sausage. So it will be as a pizza on the new menu. So it will be potato, pork sausage, homemade gravy, and peas on top of the pizza. So I think that will be probably the new favorite of people, and I think it will be a good celebration of traditional plates. I always play with Italian traditional, but I really want to play with something different this time.
Is it for the Australians?
I think it's for everyone. I always, when I go to the pub, one of my favorites is actually, mesh and benga. So I really want to do a celebration of, Australian, England food in this menu. So why not?
Talking about a bit of, we're going through your story and everything. There's something that has always been with you, and is your care for the environment with your zero waste bread. Can you tell us what's happening now?
So what happening? Happening that I say unfortunately, and I need to say what it is, because like I said, I always been quite transparent on what I'm saying, what I'm doing. I was hoping that media was help me more, not because I need like I say spotlight from media, but because the cause is great. So I see pizza maker really taking inspiration. I don't like to say copy, taking inspiration all across Australia and in Europe, in Italy. I already said that last time, but it's actually the truth. A lot of people tag me, a lot of people ask me questions, and it's sad to see social media. Then they have the influence to spread awareness in this, not really interested to share. So I keep doing my zero waste bread. I keep selling it to the community for a lesser price. People eat it every single week at the restaurant. They love it. They don't believe sometimes then it's out of pizza scraps. So I think it's a fantastic idea. It's a fantastic thing to promote, to be more promoted. But like I say, the coverage of the zero waste, unfortunately, is not having an impact as I wished before. So if you are a media and you want to talk more about zero waste, please, reach out, because I think it's a fantastic things. I did talk, for example, with Straight to the Source in Melbourne and the Pizza and Pasta show about zero waste, and everyone was, fantastically happy to hear something like that, and it was a really great success when we have this mention on about zero waste bread.
If you would call someone in, let's say, a brand, or someone like a chef or a place to collaborate, which one would be?
So definitely, I would love to be part of SA brand, because I really embrace, honestly, the South Australian community. I really love South Australian product, and I say because you can see when people is genuinely honest, and you can see through. Then I really love the concept of having small farmer, small business where I really talk every day, and I love it. Like I say, I choose South Australia instead to go home a few years back, and also because of this. Because when I arrive and I start to living in South Australia, I really felt like the community point of view, and that will be fantastic, because I really embrace with me, be part of Slow Food South Australia, using most of the time Australian products, small local ingredients, and it's something that really resonates with my ethics, and it will be fantastic. As a chef, I have many, of course, Kane Pollard, Justin James, many other chefs that they really make an impact here, Karina, Claire, Falzon. So they are all legend here. Then I think it would be fantastic to collaborate with them, because they use local ingredients, and it would be good to redo what I did in Sydney with those best chefs in Sydney, redo it here with the best chef in South Australia. And apologize if I miss one of the chefs, then it might be a friend of mine, but I didn't mention here, but I just pop up in mind. I think the few chefs that really are making an impact around South Australia at the moment. And it would be very good to see the skills on top of my pizza, and I think people will probably love it. So I hope that one day we can collaborate somehow.
That's perfect. So bring us in one of your days, Enrico, when you do prep.
Yeah.
What are the tools that you use?
So it's actually crazy. If you see the amount of things that I'm doing in a really small space, is actually, I think that's what about having a skills. That's what the experience of a person. So I start on Thursday with making sourdough pizza bread, the leftover, zero waste, gluten free. So I have the oven switcher on first for the bread, passing into the cooking, part baking, the gluten free, and after that go with a double bake. So I really need to rely on the equipment. For me, is essential. Pizza Master and MF Italy are my partner in crime on the food industry. I've been working for them for the last 2 or 3 years, and having a performance equipment, it saves time, it saves space, it saves hours, and hours are wages, or hours is the free times, and that's what I learned through my experience. Having more time for yourself is a winning. You cannot pay back your time that you spend. So having strong equipment that then they are there, they never had a problem, then they can rely for different style of baking, for different way to mixing. So it really give me a peace of mind, and they don't let me down. And that's, I think, is one of the most underrated part of pizza maker. Investing of cheap equipment, never go payback. So
can I ask
you,
what's the difference between a standard mixer compared to the one that you use? How they are different?
So cheap equipment, of course, price point is different. There has to be a differentiation, as you ask. So in this case, MF Italy, 100% made in Italy, means that it's not assembled in Italy with piece from China or Cambodia, anything. Is actually made in the house in Italy. Motor are made in Italy, and all the assembled part with the pieces are made there. So you really have a performance dough mixer, for example, in this case, that really hardly let you down. You can have 10, 15 years, and then when you go to work, you switch it on, and there is no problem. You can bake 6-7 hours a day mixing, and you still have no problem. You support a small business as well, because in the end of the day, it's a small business, in this case, a family business. So the value of the equipment. So no one think about that. If I buy a cheaper dough mixer, I buy cheap, and when I need to resell, I basically lose all my value on the mixer, because if you open marketplace or anywhere that you will sell equipment, you find only cheap equipment there. Means then the value of what you buying, it decreases straight away. when you have an expensive dough mixer, in this case, or expensive equipment, the value of your product will stay even when you resell it. I know that many small business, and I was the first as well. When I opened Altaglio, I opened with my saving. I start Altaglio, then I had $3,000 in my bank account the first 2 weeks with 4 employees. So I know, but I stretch myself to use quality equipment because I know the value of that. So stretch out for an investment for the equipment, an oven, a dough mixer, and you'll be okay for the future as well. So for the oven, the same, cheaper brand oven. You cook 3 times, so you put, for example, 4 or 5 pizzas at a time, and the oven collapses in terms of temperature. So your product will be not the same.
Are we talking electrical, wood fire?
Definitely wood fire is depending. Wood fire goes more about insulation point of view and quality of the stone. Electric will be more about the quality of the components. Okay, most likely in this case electric. A cheaper electric oven will be losing the heat, will be losing the capability of baking a lot of pizza with time. A quality oven, the recovery time of it will always not let you down. I think life is made by choice. I think, and I always thanks my family, my mom especially, to teach me and to show me about freedom of speech. I standing out since the day one. I did a fundraising 2 years ago with amazing people that helped me to achieve, to give something back. For me, it's not about losing people, customers. I don't really care, to be honest, not because I'm afraid. It's just, I think we need to stand as a human being for something that we believe. And when I believe in something, I go forward, And if someone doesn't like me for what I post or what I do, it's okay, Like I said, and that is being part of the free of choice. There is kids then suffering. My heart is really breaking all the time that I open social media. And it's really helping others and giving a better future for children than at the moment they don't have this possibility. It really something that, like I say, it's strange, it's really sad. And if I think on the future, we need to really work to create a better world because we only have this one. And I never thought then at 40 years old I could witness something like that, I was hoping when I was 20 to live in a better world than this.
Yeah. What's your opinion? You talk with a lot of these, right?
Yeah. Sometimes really it is very hard because especially for me coming from as a flour mill technician, I know that I often say that, but it's actually true, it was upon a time where you have to be super partes, means that you need to be neutral, you need to be able to deal with everyone, of course, because you represent a flour mill. But yeah, I think the reason why there is so much jealousy is the ignorance behind that. And I always say that because it is actually true. If you manipulate flour and water, then it can be very complicated, but let's keep it simple. And you self-claim yourself all the time as I'm the best pizza maker, I do the best pizza, I do this best. It's really like, it's a limit of yourself. And that's why chefs are much more educated in a way that, because they come from a background of know how to manipulate the food, have mental skills to be able to do this every single day, while pizza maker really coming with an humble point of view where there is a lot of ignorance. And that's when you really see that, everyone self-claim they are the best. And it's really, sad to see this, because you really start to having those fighting between pizza maker for a pizza guys, you know, like it's something crazy to thinking about it, but it's actually really a reality of a lot of jealousy in the industry, and is, like I say, sad, because it should be much more cooperating and helping each other, and having a easy environment to work with. You do your product, I do my product, you do this, I do that. That's it, you know. There is no such a competition. Why is that, to be honest? You know, I think really is because there is ignorance into this job. Still too much ignorance in the pizza making industry.
You are a board member for Slow Food.
Yep.
So what's the latest?
So at the moment, we are trying very hard to get along with, as we call, Chef Alliance, something that we gathers all the chefs around, in this case, South Australia, to have a lovely time together. Is extremely hard because, of course, Slow Food member are working for free. So on their free times, I know the chef has a limited free times. So the concept of it is fantastic. We are still missing a little bit of time to work on it and to find actually the time to gather together, you know, because if...
Are you looking for new members, chefs?
Absolutely, we all looking for new members. We all looking for people that has similar ethos. Similar ethos means use quality ingredient, be fair, be honest, waste less food, teaching your sous chef, teaching your, you know, your juniors how to manipulate food in a good way. And that's something that I think is a fantastic things to have, you know, is a fantastic core things to have if you are a chef. So definitely, if you are a chef, if you have this ethic point of view, and it's not about ego, it's not about social media, it's just about to gather with colleagues, because we really know how hard it is, hospitality, you know. We all burn out, we all have a different, similar but different experience. We all really do a hard job to accommodate people in a everyday life. So
what is for a chef the reason to join Slow Food?
I think is like I say, it's like to join a movement that resonate with yourself. So there is nothing that give you back rather than someone else like you, then think like you, and you can build a community based on that. So don't expect anything back from Slow Food things, but if you believe in that, I say why not? You know what I mean? That yeah, is the community things then gather and have a chat, have a phone call, have a coffee, and you know, when you, it's like to find someone with your same hobby. You know, you gather together, you enjoy talking about this, and more awareness there is, more is fundamental for the community.
Why should we visit the place?
I think I expect a more selected customers. Like I say, with 20 seats, it's really not easy to manage the business. I think a lot of customers understand that the quality, the way they interact with us, the way that the place is built, you know, is for an experience of pizza. And that's what we wanted from the beginning, but of course a lot of people want to try, and you know, you come to that's Enrico for, first of all, of course, choosing quality ingredient. You know, having organic veggie, organic produce when we can is really not everyone doing it at the moment. When you come at the Enrico, you sustain me, but also you sustain other small businesses, and that's something important. But you come for experience the pizza. 4 different dough is something that, you know, for me, having a gluten-free, thin and crispy, double bake, and regular dough is a big commitment, as time to make everything. So I think the best way is, you know, come, enjoy. We have fantastic wine lists, organic, biodynamic when we can, and I think, like I said, the final client is to want to spend an hour and a half, enjoy, and experience a beautiful way to do a simple product, but made with skills, made with love.
Should we also come for something else other than pizza?
Definitely, of course, we try to make a fresh pasta every day, every week. You can try different small plates than we have. We always change pizza courses. I'm always there during the week to do pizza courses. And of course, if you want your intimate space as a rent for your event, we there, and during the week is available for private function.
That was a beautiful chat, Enrico.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to seeing you again.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, and see you soon at the Enrico.